Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to be doing another home DIY project. Today I am in my son's room and we're going to be focusing on the wall behind me, an accent wall. And I wanted to do a faux wood wall. So I'm very excited to share that this video is sponsored by my friends at Renoboard. It is an adhesive board that looks and feels like wood, but it's easier to work with, easy to access. You can find them at your local Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, or Wayfair. I got mine from Home Depot. They also have different collections to choose from, so you can choose marble, a solid look, or even stone, depending on what your home project is. These are waterproof and can be used pretty much in any room except places that have extreme heat. They're also gonna work best on flat surfaces, so if you have textured walls that are lightly textured like mine, it should be fine. We're gonna find out together, but ideally these work best on completely flat surfaces. Depending on the collection you choose, these come in either a 10 or 12 pack, so you need to make sure that you measure your wall to see how much square footage it is, and then obviously that will determine how many packs you need. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing all of my thoughts, tips, and feedback on the product. This is my first time using it, so we're gonna be learning together, but I will share everything I learned with you guys at the very end, so stay tuned. So let's just jump into what the product looks like. I chose the rustic wood, although they have different gray woods and different shades to choose from. I wanted more like of a barn rustic feel, so I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like and all the tools that we'll be using for today's project. So this is what the boards look like. It's a beautiful rusticy brown color, as I mentioned. You can see how bendable and pliable these boards are. They're super lightweight, so that should be great as far as sticking them to the wall. This is how you just peel back the plastic tab, and then you can see how sticky this is. These are the tools that I am going to be using today: a cutting board, an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, and then I have a level and a pencil. You're also going to be needing a flathead screwdriver to take off all the outlets. That's the first thing we did in this project to prep the wall and go ahead and begin. Then we went ahead and just, of course, moved all the furniture out of the way, sped that up so you guys don't have to sit through all of that. So to begin, I peeled back the plastic layer here and went ahead and propped my board against the crown molding on the bottom of my wall. This was leveled, so it was a great place to start. These are pretty forgiving, so if you need to adjust these because you made a mistake or need to scoot it over a little, you can totally do that, which is really awesome. And then once you get in the position you want it, you just smooth it out with your hand and make sure it's nice and stuck to the wall, and just repeat that process over and over, which is what we did. You also, if you're working with the wood design, you want to make sure that you are careful with how you place the next row, because you want it to have a staggered look. You can see there that where the boards connect, it creates that kind of just natural wood feel. So we alternated what side of the wall we started on. Once we got to the outlets, we found that the easiest way to do it was to trace it like this with a pencil, and then just take an X-Acto knife and cut on your line. Once you remove that, you'll find that the outlet cover fits perfectly into the little cut that you made, and that's the easiest way to just go ahead and work around the outlets. Also, about a third way through, we decided to go ahead and lightly sand our walls per the recommendation of the Renoboard website. Because our walls are textured, we wanted to ensure that we were doing everything we can to make sure these boards don't go anywhere, and you can just see the difference of when we sand and when we don't. So probably something you should consider. So once we did that, we just continued to move up the wall, which was really easy, honestly. You could position these in different ways, like I mentioned, but we wanted to just keep it simple, and so we just started some on the right side and then alternated. It would start on the left on the next row, and just did that all the way up. We were really happy with how this looked, and then we were also careful to choose different shades of brown because we didn't want it to all look too uniform. And once we got all the way to the top of our wall, we did have to cut down a piece of the planks because it wasn't a perfect fit, which was fine. It wasn't too difficult to do. And then the last step was to fill in these little gaps on the sides here. Once we did that, we completed the project, and it looks so good. Can't wait to show you guys. It seriously turned out exactly how I wanted it to. All right, guys, the wall is done, and it turned out so awesome. After being able to work with this product and really get, my opinion on things, I feel like I can share some tips with you guys. So the first thing is you definitely can cut these with scissors, which is awesome because there's other products that you have to use a box cutter and they're hard. This is super easy to cut with, just as long as you have like a sharp pair of scissors. It's really easy to cut through. You do need I would recommend that you have a cutting mat and some sort of level or yardstick or something to make sure that you get your measurements, because there will be little corners at the end depending on how you stagger your boards, that will be needing to be filled in. So in those parts, we just measured it and cut it with scissors, and it really wasn't that hard. That was honestly what took the longest. Everything else was so convenient, easy to use. These things are so lightweight. This could be a one-person job. My husband and I tackled it together, which made it go even faster. But if you were alone, this is not something that's difficult. I think anyone, even if you're not creative at all, could easily accomplish this. My second tip is if you have textured walls, then go ahead and do, as part of your prep work, a sanding down of the wall just to ensure that the adhesive sticks the best and that these boards don't go anywhere. We use the handheld sander that comes with different grits that you can change out. But if you don't have one of these, no worries. You can just use a regular piece of sandpaper or one of these sanding blocks that you can get from your local home improvement store. And my third tip is that you definitely want to make sure when you're measuring your wall that you're purchasing extra pieces, because like I mentioned, those little corner pieces are going to be needing to be filled. So you're going to want to have extra, especially if you make a cut mistake, or it's always better to have more. On their website, Renoboard recommends that you purchase at least 10% more than what your square footage of whatever wall in your home or whatever area you're going to be using the boards on. So I would just generally follow that rule. Now we're just gonna add the finishing touches to our son's room and then do the final reveal. I'll be right back. We are so obsessed with how this turned out. My son loves his new room, and I highly recommend the Renoboards. They were so convenient, easy to use. I will 100% be using these again in other projects in my home. Check back. Maybe I'll be doing something in my bathroom with their stone or marble. Who knows? Comment and let me know which collection I should try next. But thank you guys so much. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.